Raideo.
Because it's a lot of work. It's not just like with audio, like literally for this podcast, I just go home, I stick it into my template, which already has the theme song in it. I just drag it in and then line it up and then snip off a bit of the beginning, maybe some of the end, and then I'm done. I just, I upload it to a site that normalizes the sound, does a great job of that, just to make it louder in certain areas and quieter in other areas that are too loud. But that's it.
Sounds pretty good.
Whereas for video, you have to worry about lighting. You have to, well, you know.
There's so much there.
Yeah. What did you guys have to handle?
Well, the computers were one thing. You'd get like half of it done, and then the software would crash, and you'd have to start over. Me and Kelly had to start 3 times.
You guys were using Adobe Premiere, right?
Yep.
On our Windows machines.
Yep.
And it wasn't working very well.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's so easy though to like look at that idea and be like, oh, videos look so cool in the end, but to get there is so much work, right? Like,
well, it helps you understand and appreciate how much work influencers or those people on YouTubers, how much work they actually put into what they do.
Yeah.
It is hard work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah. Well, you learned something, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Today we have Addy Hebden.
Hello.
The only Hebden to have made it into the podcast studio.
Thanks for
so
having
far,
me.
There's no more Hebdens, right?
Nope.
Oh, you're at the end of the line?
Despite me having encouraged her parents otherwise.
Uh-huh. Well, they still have time.
It's fair.
Actually, no, we'll be retired by then.
Yeah.
Yeah. No more time. But we have this one here.
Yep.
And I remember I think you were in grade 8 band.
Oh, yeah.
I remember walking by the band room one day and I saw you playing the trumpet.
Clarinet.
Clarinet. Okay. You never played the trumpet? That was your sister.
Yeah, that was Macy.
Right. Anyways, I saw you in the band and I was like, oh, that's cool. Who's that person? Because I'd never seen you before. And then much later on, you were in my innovation class where I got to know you a little better. But you're one of three kids who have gone through Delview.
Mm-hmm. Set of 3.
Yeah. And what was it like growing up with your 2 siblings? Did you guys get along? Tell us all the juicy stories because here's your chance.
Here we go. This is something I can really get into. So, my mom, it starts with my mom. So my mom and my dad. Okay, that's not. That's not how I ended.
Well, I didn't mean to go all the way back
This
there.
took an unexpected turn.
To be clear, I meant what I meant.
She said she's always wanted to talk about it. So.
My bad. Okay. So what I meant by that was, just to clear it, so my dad had said that he really wanted to have kids. And so my mom was like, okay, sure. But her original thought in it was that my dad is like so much to handle because he always wants to go out and do stuff. So her thought was, okay, if I have kids, then they're basically like friends and buddies that he can go off and do these things with. Like they can keep him
occupied.
distracted and occupied.
That's a cunning plan.
So
That's hilarious.
That is the story of my life right there, basically. So the 3 of us are always going out on adventures with my dad. Mm-hmm. So like Saturday morning, we're sitting downstairs, chilling, watching TV, whatever, and all of a sudden you hear thump, 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 going down the stairs. And it's my dad. And he's like, what are we doing today? What's the adventure? Where are we going? And then he just takes us off and sweeps us up into the mountain.
Oh, that's what I want. That's awesome.
It's pretty fun. It's hard to keep up with, but yeah.
So what are some of the adventures you had that you can remember?
We go hiking a lot. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's a good story. I think it's like 2 years ago. We went hiking, like the Sea to Sky Highway.
Yeah.
So they have the Sea to Sky hike that goes off the side of that. Mm-hmm. And so basically, my dad had seen this hike with his friend, our uncle, who like really likes hiking as well. And their thought was, this looks like a really cool hike. Let's go do it. But they put like no effort into seeing what it was going to be like that day on the mountain. Mm-hmm. So like, what is the weather? Oh. How long is this hike? no idea. Like, we didn't even know where we're going. We're just following the trail signs.
That's a true adventure.
Oh, yeah.
No prep.
Spirit of the mountain. Okay, so we get halfway up this mountain, and it starts to pour, like,
Oh, no.
really, really hard. And we don't know how much is left, because, like, this general place is, like, there's no, like, sell anything anywhere. And so we don't know where we are. Like, we can follow the trail maps. We don't know how far up we are. And the funny thing is at the bottom, I had read the trail map, and there's like little markers that'll tell you kind of how far you are, but I had read the sign wrong. And so I had added an extra 0 to the sign, like the end of it. So like it would say, for example, 12 or 120 pegs to go. But I had added an extra 0, so I read it as 1,200 pegs to go. And so by the time we were halfway up, it still said like 70 pegs to go. And I was like doing the math in my head, and I was like, wait a second, that doesn't...
You were quite worried.
Yeah, and I was like, we were making like no progress, and it's starting to get dark. And I was panicking, and my siblings were panicking. And just as I thought we were about to like die on that mountain, because my dad had naturally told us stories going up the mountain about how some couple had died on the mountain last year.
That's great.
To try and comfort
me. To keep the spirits up.
Somehow. And so then we reached the top, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness, like, I could have died. But that's my dad.
That was the see the sky.
Yeah, see this guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a true adventure, though.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know where you're going. It's a mystery how you're going to get there, but then you make it, and then you come back down a different person.
Oh, yeah.
And it has elements of danger, you know, uncertainty.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I like your dad. That's great. That's what I would love, for somebody to just come into my living room and go, where are we going today? Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mystery.
There's going to be a knock at Kung's door this weekend.
Oh, I would love that. Just send your dad anytime to my house.
Oh, I will. Anyone else to keep him occupied.
Terrific. Did you, as kids, ever bicker at all? I know I did a lot with my sister that I regret, but now we're fine.
Yeah. Naturally. But again, my mom was like an adamant, like, take care of each other was her tagline. Like, you guys gotta like take care of each other, because like one day maybe I'm not gonna be there, and it's gonna be you three together. So we're definitely raised as a trio. Like anytime we had some sort of a dispute, it was my mom who came in there and was like, you guys gotta fix this. Yeah. Or there's gonna be trouble. Yeah. My mom's really scary. So yeah, we would bicker sometimes, like naturally. Mostly me and my brother, because like I think it's the age gap or the fact that we're the two most similar out of the three. But yeah, just like little things. But
how do you mean you're similar?
Oh, okay. So we like to say me and Carter are the two analytical thinkers. Okay. Like we like to break things down, process all the little facts, take things apart, put them back together, see how it works. Macy just likes to go and do whatever. Yeah. Like she's the more free spirit of the three of us. Yeah. But also on top of that, me and Carter look the most similar, we've been told. So that's another factor. Yeah.
I see that. Yeah. So in your time at Delview, like you're at the end of your journey here at Delview and about to move on to new things and exciting things, hopefully. What were some of the things that you think you got out of your high school experience here?
So many great things. I was actually just talking to Joshua this the other day after school. So one of the biggest things I learned, this was like a big thing I went through in leadership class, was overcoming things that aren't going your way. And it seems so simple on the outside because that's just like growing up is basically the definition. So yeah, something comes your way, you don't like how it goes. Instead of sitting down and decide not to do anything about it, or like just like I don't know, avoiding the obstacle entirely, finding a way to get over it. It takes a lot of creativity and resilience, which is something you got to practice, like a muscle, like anything else. But something that I really learned in leadership, and something that really like sat at home with me, was not only just avoiding the obstacle entirely or like getting through it, but like finding a way to make it fun. That's the best part. Because, like, I don't know, maybe you're in like a class you don't like, where you're just going to spend like 2 years not liking it and just muscling through it, or are you going to find a way to enjoy it? Like, you get so much more out of stuff when you enjoy it. So I'd rather do that than just like sit through it, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess sometimes it's just figuring out what you can glean out of the experience, even if most of it is, boring or not what you like. At least you can learn something from it.
Oh, yeah.
Get something out of it, right?
Take what you can get, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. You've been involved in quite a number of things at Delview. You use your time here well compared to a lot of people who have, gone through 5 years here. What were some of the things that you got involved with? Like even in grade 8, I think you were quite involved in lots of different things.
Oh, grade 8. Try and remember that far back. I don't even know. What was I in grade 8? There's no sports because it was COVID. Oh, I did the Mario Kart tournament. I practiced for weeks for that one.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How'd you do?
I got last place. I did terrible, but I did really good compared to how I did the few weeks before.
Yes.
Like I was terrible, but
yeah.
I got better. So
good.
It was a bonding experience for me and my brother. I can say that.
Did you do you did the Christmas door decorating?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you doing that in grade 8.
I did Miss Thomas's door. I did the Harry Styles.
I remember walking by the room and introducing myself.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember you standing there decorating, and I was like, "Who's this person?" That's the person I saw in band.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do remember that. You probably did some T4G in the last few years.
Oh yeah,
you were very involved with that. You've done lots of clubs and activities here.
Oh yeah, it's fun. Like, take what you can get again. Like,
and Ultimate.
Oh, I love Ultimate. I could go on about that one. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay.
When did you start Ultimate? Did you start outside of school or in school?
I started in school in grade 9. I just joined because Macy joined, and Macy was like, "Oh, well, you're not doing any sports, so you should join." And so I went with her.
Yeah, good.
And to be honest, I sucked. Like, I was terrible at Ultimate in grade 9. But that was kind of my driving force to get better, was because I sucked, no one would, like, pass to me. Well, also, it was just, like, the same group of boys that wouldn't pass to anyone. But, like, they wouldn't pass to me, and it made me mad.
Fair.
So I decided to go and get better over the summer. And I was practicing a lot. I actually learned a very valuable lesson because when I got back, I realized that I'd been practicing the wrong way, if you can believe it. Like, I wasn't practicing throwing around a check. I was just practicing throwing straight through whatever invisible check was there.
Right.
And so when I got back, I realized I couldn't throw the proper way,
right.
Which, valuable lesson. Like, take the time to figure out how to do stuff right before you get the muscle memory in.
Yeah.
But
practice the correct way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I fixed it, but yeah.
Well, then you became a stellar Ultimate player, and you even joined a league outside of school?
Yeah, I joined the Vancouver Ultimate League. I played for Venom, which is like the highest regional team they've got for kids. So it was lots of fun, yeah.
Was that last summer?
That was the last 2 summers.
Last 2 summers.
Yeah.
And you were captain of Delview's team this year?
This year and last year, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a really big privilege. It was really scary at first because I don't really like to step up and take leadership roles if I don't have to, but I learned a lot from it. And I actually had a lot of help from my team. Like, I was very honored to be voted in, but then it was the fact that they helped me along the way. Like, it wasn't just me leading, it was them pushing me forward, which was really nice.
I would argue, though, Addy, that you may not be aware of this, but since my earliest days of meeting you, whether you know it or not, is you actually exhibit a lot of leadership. You are always the first kid to offer help to other classmates, and that's refreshing to see. And you don't have a lot of ego in the sense of it's about you. You genuinely want to see everyone do well, which is really fabulous.
Yeah, like, you don't want to, like, I don't know. It's fun to do stuff, but, like, if kids are not having fun doing it around you, it just makes you want to help them have fun do it too. Like, it's no fun if you're the only one having fun. Help everyone have fun.
And that's what I see in you for STEM mastery as well.
Oh, yeah.
with all the kids that we have to deal with during that program. And all the Gibson kids who come by and learn about science, technology, engineering, and math. It can get kind of hairy sometimes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like working with kids because, like, you can't understand them. They're so unpredictable that it's, like, so much fun. And sometimes it's not
I guess.
fun. Sometimes it's not fun. I have lots of horror stories from STEM Mastery, but I also have way more stories of kids coming up to being like, hey, thanks for doing this. Like, I really want to go into science now because you've helped me so much. And that really makes me feel nice. Like, it's nice to know that doing that helps people genuinely. So
that's what keeps you going as a teacher too, right?
Oh yeah, I'd imagine.
I mean, right now is a very difficult time because we've got desperate students dealing with things like cheating and things not coming in and all the frustrations. But in the end, you look at the overall picture and how many people you've actually helped and how many people appreciate it. Even if they appreciate it, 10 years from now and they come back and see you, that's something.
That's very true. I have a little file I keep on my desk that an educator, when I first started teaching, showed me theirs. And I was like, what a great idea. Because they said there will come a day when you're having a bad day, despite all your best efforts, that will be your lifeline. That will remind you of why you got into teaching. And I had a week, and I found myself this morning thumbing through some of the notes from students and the like, and was like, yeah.
Yeah, I've got my pile at home too, on my filing cabinet with all the cards and stuff. It's good to look at once in a while.
I do that too, actually.
Yeah.
I have my own version. I have like a box of all of the cards people have given me. Not like random birthday cards, but like I'm a pen pal with my great aunt. So like we write back and forth, and whenever I'm kind of having a hard time, like I really love my great aunt. She has lots of good advice for me. And so when I'm having a hard time, I go through and read her letters because she writes so much in them. It's like going through an encyclopedia of what to do. What would my aunt do? Let me go through this. Like, it makes me feel so much better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have those words of wisdom, and makes you feel appreciated once in a while when you're feeling a little bit down, right?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Just going back to Ultimate. You chose Ultimate. Have you tried any other sports?
I played Australian football.
Really?
In elementary school.
Wait, what's Australian football?
So it's basically it's like a combination of rugby and let's say rugby and like soccer. So like there's like a football, but it's not like American football. It's more like
it's a specific ball.
Yeah.
Or
it's a little bit rounder on. It's not like it's like a sharp,
smaller than a rugby ball.
Smaller than a rugby ball. Okay.
And it's like
and bouncier.
Bouncier, yeah, because like you have to like bounce it on the ground with your hands every few steps, and it can hit the ground. Like you do lots of rolling and like tackling people, but like not in the same sense as football. It's kind of like flag football, maybe. Similar. It's very fun.
Ultimate. The first time I watched one of your Ultimate games, I noticed that there was a lot of focus on spirit. And Mr. Wu was telling me about this as well, because I have no experience with Ultimate. I played recreationally with some friends a few times, but
fun, yeah.
But like in like organized Ultimate, I guess there's like spirit, and you exchange gifts and things like that. That's kind of cool.
That's like the basis of the sport. If you imagine it like a stack of cards, that's the bottom layer. And if you sweep that out, then it's not really Ultimate anymore. It's just a pile of cards on the ground. So like, I don't know. Ultimate was kind of, people call it the hippie sport, and I kind of get that because it is based a lot off like friendship and those kind of virtues. But yeah, that's what it is. So like, even if you're having a bad game, a good team with good spirit will still go out there and be giving their teammates high fives, running out there with water. You're not going to stay on the side and like pout about it. You gotta get out there and make each other feel happy to be there. Like,
yeah,
it's not a sport where you like, you play a game, you got a 50-50 chance of losing, maybe, against like a good team that's paired with you. Is there any point in going out there and taking a 50-50 chance of having a terrible time No, like have a 100% chance of having a great time, because whether you win or you lose, you're gonna have an awesome time with your friends, and I don't know.
A growth mindset.
Yeah.
It's like athletics for good people.
Yeah, I really love it.
I think as I have tried different sports through the years, I've realized that there's like different camps. And ultimate certainly its own thing, but I've played a lot of ringette lately, and like in comparison to what I was used to in terms of the hockey culture, people seem to be friendlier, and a lot of the beer leaguers have joined ringette because they're just sick of the nonsense that goes on in beer leagues where people are trying to harm each other.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yelling and swearing at each other, fighting and all of that, which, I don't mind a good fight during a hockey game, but when you're in it and there's like all this animosity that's built up between two teams that are playing together and you're just trying to have fun, it just kind of ruins it for me.
Yeah, it doesn't feel healthy, like mentally or physically at all. No.
Yeah, you just don't feel like doing it anymore.
Nope.
Yeah.
I quit Spring League for that very reason.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened to you?
The proverbial straw that broke the camel's back was we were seated poorly, but the Pacific Coast League at the time, the guy was like, well, sorry, that's the league you're in. And yet, so we went out and we had a pretty fun group of guys, but we were getting pumped like 11-0, 12-1, 14-0. And so I had said to the guy in an email, hey, I recognize like it's a fun league, but it's not a lot of fun to be on the shelling on a regular basis with these teams that are just stacked. And his reply was, well, you guys just got to score more. Oh, geez, I hadn't thought of that. Thanks for that insight, And then our next game, we played this team that were pretty dirty, and they were beating us 8-1 in the first period. And one of their players just completely lost the narrative. And he's like, that was offside. That can't be a goal. And he literally pulled out his cell phone on the bench and called somebody and we were like.
And you were already losing 8-1.
Yeah. And so I skated over because even his teammates were like, dude, that's really not a good look. And I was like, you know what? Have at it. We're leaving. We're just like, and so we skated off. And the other team was like, great. Now we all are in gear. So we lost by forfeit, but they also then lost because they didn't get the ice time.
Right.
But I was like, this is ridiculous. And then the guy who organized the league said, you just can't do that. And I said, well, I've paid my money. Have a nice life.
Yeah. When the first time I played roller hockey, I started with roller hockey when I was in university, and they had this league. And I signed up as a single because none of my friends wanted to play. So I signed up as a single, and they stuck me on this really high tier team. It was my first time. Like I could skate, like public skating in a circle. But beyond that, I learned really quickly in this league. And the problem was my team just was filled with goons who just wanted to fight the entire time. And so, I stayed out of it because I'm not a fighter, fist fighter anyway. But like every night there would be like blood everywhere, and they'd just drop the gloves and start fighting over nothing. And it was just ugly. And, after that year, I was like, do I still want to do this? It's not a sport anymore. It's like, if I wanted to join boxing, I would have joined boxing.
Exactly.
Or Muay Thai or something. But yeah, it wasn't really playing the sport anymore. But I mean, it got better in other tiers that I joined, but yeah, it gets pretty ugly in sports sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta find your people.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, some people really like that, but not me, no. So
yeah, it's odd, but some people do actually enjoy that. Yeah. So you've done a ton of stuff at the school. You've become a revered leader at our school, even though you don't want to think so. And, you've worked with lots of other kids. We have a great group of kids, and your grad class is amazing.
I'm really proud of my, I was listening to the options for all the valedictorians, and all of them would make great candidates. You don't see that often where all of them have like equal shots. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. And different skills and in different ways too.
Yeah. Like,
so what are some of the things that you're imagining yourself going into after you leave here?
oh yeah. So I'm going to Douglas in the fall for environmental science. I want to get someplace where I can make a difference in like the forests or like the more natural parts. Because like, I don't know, I was telling Mr. Yuill this before he came, but like when I go camping, because my family goes camping a lot, we're outdoors all the time, and you're driving by and you see like the side of a mountain shaved off clean, and you think like, isn't there like a better solution to this? Like as Mr. Yuill said, there's money to be made, but there's also like, how many years will it take for those trees to get back? Like you can't just farm a whole micro ecosystem overnight. Like it takes years. There's got to be a better solution. And so I want to get to a place where I can like make some change, find some better ways to be doing stuff. Maybe in the meantime, be like a bylaw enforcer. That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
A bylaw enforcer.
Oh yeah. Like not even just like the trees, but like if you're looking at like the fish, like salmon are way overfished. Like something needs to be done. Like I want to step in and do something.
Well, we're in BC, so there's lots of opportunities for that.
I was born in the right place for this. Yeah, definitely.
Have you ever tried tree planting?
I was reading about it. My parents are timid at best at that one, though. They don't want me, because they read about like how you're out with like random people out in the boonies.
Yes.
I was like, oh, that sounds like a great time. We're out with some random people planting trees all day. But
I tried it for one day.
Oh,
it was
you
part
did?
of it was. Here's my strategy for taking courses. I went to UBC, and for education, we got to take some electives, and I chose all the ones that involved the outdoors in the summer.
Oh, nice.
So one of the ones that I took was for forestry education. And so we spent a whole day out near Whistler and Squamish and looking at geological formations but also going into the forests, and we actually tried some tree planting for a couple hours, and it was so hot.
Yeah,
mosquitoes. It's such hard work. Just to plant a tree, and you have to do it quickly if you want to be a tree planter, because you get a whole bunch of the baby trees, saplings, and you have to do it pretty quickly to make any money at all. Right? So the people who do it, they get a shovel or whatever tool, and they clear out the ground, get rid of roots, dig a hole, put the tree in. The ones who make money, they do it super quickly and well. Like you have to make sure it's planted, otherwise it's not going to work, right? So. Yeah, it was not easy at all, and I've heard the stories that you probably have heard as well.
Yeah, like out in your tent at night, like who's out there? Well, and also your back must hurt really bad after that. Can you imagine?
It is hard work. Yeah, yeah. So not planning to do that.
No, I read into it, but I think there's better places I can be.
On a boat. As a bylaw officer for fishery DFO.
Put the fish down.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. So, Douglas, did you try other programs? Did you choose Douglas? Is there a special program there that you were interested in?
Well, I was shopping around a bit because you gotta look at your options. But in the end, Carter went to Douglas, which is a benefit because he knows the place. So he can take me in like in the summer, I guess, and we can look around. He can show me where everything is, which is an up for me. But then also it's close to home, and I mean the SkyTrain goes right there. Like it takes 20 minutes to get there, if that. And the specific program I'm taking is really special to me because it's for 2 years. And then after that, you build off of it in a university. And there's this program at UVic, which is forest biology. And you're looking at the microbiology of the forest, like the fungus and the moss and all of the little guys who were living in there. And that sounds so interesting to me. Like, I'd like to take other stuff too, but that one specifically really piqued my interest. And also the fact that it's at UVic, so I could also join the ultimate team while I'm there. So
it's a lovely campus too.
It works really well. And, well, part of my plan is also that Sarah is joining me for that. So me and Sarah would go out there and live in an apartment together. So I'm loving this idea.
You would be 2 peas in a pod, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That would be awesome. Yeah. That's
Sarah,
the kind of stuff.
Sarah would hate for me to tell you this, but she's one of your biggest fans.
Oh, I'm one of Sarah's biggest fans too. It's just perfect.
Yeah, she was telling me she spent some time with you and your family on the weekend. She's like, they're the best family. I'm like, we know.
Sarah can join. Sarah can be a Hebden.
Yeah.
Sarah Hebden.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I thought you would have a plan because that's kind of what you do.
Oh, yeah. If there's anything,
Planned
it's
all the way
planned.
through.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time we met?
Grade 8 in your old classroom.
French 8.
Yep.
I came in. I had, because I was basically teaching in East Ladner, like the worst classroom in this building because it's so far from anything.
Oh, yeah.
And I had run out for something, came back in, and you were sitting like second table in, and you had a book, and you were voraciously reading it, and I was getting everything ready. And I sort of said, oh, what are you reading? And you just proceeded to give me a plot summary and exactly why. And I was like, I actually am now interested in this. But I took the title, and my daughter read it, who is a good reader, Gemma.
Oh.
She loved it. So and I was like, oh. And you said, every chance I get, I don't want to waste any time. If this is my time, I'm going to do something for me. And I thought, what a great answer. And then you turned out to be an amazing student too.
Oh.
So
And that was in grade 8.
grade
That was
8.
in grade 8?
Yeah.
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 You were taught well
Thank you.
by everyone around you.
I was very blessed with my family. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So what kind of stuff do you like to do when you are not at school? Like outside of school? I know you do ultimate.
Oh, yeah.
What are some other things?
So I'm Christian. I go to church. I spend a lot of time at my church. So part of that is I play saxophone a lot. I love playing the saxophone.
In a church band?
Yeah, and I sometimes
Yeah.
we don't have enough like planning to do that every single Sunday, but when we can, me and Macy play the horns in the back. So that's trumpet and saxophone,
Wow.
which is really fun. But also they have like this system set up where it's like a little clicker in your ear.
Yes.
And that's kind of like hard to hear along to. So me and Macy just because we grew up in the Delview band, where you don't have a clicker in your ear. So me and Macy just kind of freestyle it
in
off
the
the side. Yeah, no.
no click track.
I'm kind of sad though because my saxophone isn't my saxophone; it's Delview's saxophone.
Oh dear.
So I'm gonna be saxophone-less for a bit of the summer.
Oh.
I'm hoping to make some money. I watch my grandparents garden through the summer, so I make some money there, and then with my birthday, hopefully I'll be able to buy another saxophone
Is it an alto?
secondhand.
Alto
It's an alto,
sax?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
We might have to intervene with the parents here, Gun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could get it secondhand. It'd be cheaper.
Secondhand. Oh yeah, I would never buy a saxophone firsthand.
They're super expensive.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness, yeah.
Any instrument is pricey if you buy it new.
You know what I found out the other day, though, is
What?
that under my brother's bed for the last 10 years, we've been stashing away a zither harp that is perfectly functional. I had no idea.
Where did this harp come from?
It came from my great-grandmother on my dad's side. So
Really?
I had no idea. I didn't know that she had played this, and I didn't know that we had it. So while I don't have my saxophone for a few months, maybe I'll take up the zither harp. Who knows?
And what is a zither harp
I
specifically?
actually haven't pulled it out yet. I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm eager to figure this out.
Harps are lovely.
Oh yeah.
Like my daughter plays in an orchestra, and they have one harpist. It's an enormous. It's a giant, huge harp, and every weekend, every Saturday, I see her parents wheel it in, and it's just so much effort to bring that one instrument
Bless her.
for that.
I imagine,
but
yeah.
she's an amazing player. Like
Yeah.
it's obviously worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They put all the money and time and lessons into it, and she's terrific. And it's cool because if you're a harpist, there's like one of you, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're a violinist, there's plenty of people to choose from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's such a cool instrument to play.
It is.
Oh yeah. It sounds really amazing too.
Yeah.
I'd imagine though that the zither harp is probably like no bigger than a guitar.
Okay.
And if it's like a zither harp, like a zither sits down. So I'd imagine you're like strumming it on some flat surface. So I don't know. It's something cool though to definitely explore in the summer.
A zither harp. Oh.
We might have to have Addy come and explain it to us. Oh yeah, okay, no, that makes sense.
It's
The image,
definitely it's not a full size
No.
orchestral harp. It
Yeah.
almost looks like a guitar that's been rearranged.
Oh,
Yeah.
weird.
So it looks like that.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Very fancy.
So I guess it's in a box. You haven't seen it.
No, I haven't. No.
Okay.
Probably coated in years of dust. Have to give it a good washing.
Yeah. Well, that's something exciting you could get into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what do you do for relaxation and fun?
Relaxation. What is that?
Yeah. No, it's for reality,
I'm just
probably.
kidding. I read a lot. Me and Macy read a lot of books. Actually, I have a fun story on this. Through the last 2 years, Macy's been collecting books, like buying them. Like she doesn't go to the library anymore. She just buys books. And because she's a carpenter, she can she can make herself bookshelves. So we have like 5 bookshelves in our room full of all of these books that Macy has built, and like books overflowing on top of our dresser.
So did
on
the
floor.
bookshelf come first, or the books came first?
The bookshelf came first. She actually did the first one for her capstone with Mr. Brown, and she just went from there. And now she has them like all over the floor because she doesn't even have any more room for bookshelves. And the funny thing is, she did this thing where it's like, it's my birthday, I'm turning 20. I'm going to get 20 books for my birthday. So she bought these 20 books and she puts them on the dresser. She looks at them and then she sighs and she looks at me and she goes, maybe I'll reread Percy Jackson, which is upstairs in my brother's closet. What? You just bought 20 books. Why do you need to go upstairs and read something you've already read? Oh my goodness.
She likes it so much.
But yeah, in my free time, I read all of her books. It's very, I don't know if I'd call that relaxation though, because she has lots of rules. So originally I had to sit on her bed while I was reading them. Like I wasn't allowed to go anywhere else. And you're not allowed to have them open more
Why?
because they're like, she bought them and she likes how they look. Like, and if you crack the spine, then it
She's
looks
one of those.
She's one of those.
My
yeah.
wife is one of those too.
Oh,
if
no.
I crack the spine, I'm dead.
Yeah. Crack the spine, I crack your neck. Yeah. Like, you can't open it more than 45 degrees. Like, she hears a audible crack, you're just like, you're done for. So.
It's for her display.
Yeah, it is. She has like those, what do you call them? Like the book nooks, you know those? Where they have like a little shelf insert with all the fairy lights and like little miniatures. She makes those. I help her with that in my free time. That's pretty relaxing, actually.
There's actually a Japanese term for displaying books and not reading them.
Yeah.
Oh,
I forget what it is, but they actually have a word for that,
that's awesome.
which is kind of interesting.
Don't tell my sister.
Yeah. Well, all of my books I've actually read. Maybe a few I haven't, but I'm not great at reading, I have to say. Like I'll quit a book like just like that if I don't like a section of it. I'm really easy to switch books. And I read on a Kobo too, so it makes it easier. It doesn't take up any space except on the like memory side of things on a Kobo.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm not great at finishing books, I have to say, unless it's really, really engaging.
Yeah.
You probably read pretty quickly, right?
No, I have trouble reading. Like the words like jump around on me. So like, I don't know. I take a lot of time to read, but I spend so much time doing it that I clear a decent amount of books in a year.
Okay.
But like, I'm what you would call a book multitasker. Like I'm the person at the ice cream shop who asks for like 10 different samples. That's me with books. So I got like a stack of 10 different books right now on my nightstand that all have like 3 bookmarks in them each because I just jump around and read different parts.
Yeah, that's kind of like me. It could take forever to do that, right? To get through a book, because I'm right now I'm probably between 3 or 4 right now.
Yeah.
And then we have that YOLO Boko float. Then every year I get a new book. I'm like, there's another book I need to read, right? I'm not done these ones yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just being able to carve out time can be difficult.
Oh yeah.
But that's good that you spend time doing that instead of many other things that could, are not as productive in terms of learning something.
Yeah.
I got myself through university buying and selling books right at the beginning of the internet age. And it was a way, because now instead of being in a city where you had to go to a used bookstore, they would post these books. And if you knew what you were doing, you could buy and then flip them. And I had a really niched area I collected. But I have the same thing because I use them for graduate school. And I'm a pretty disciplined reader, but I read quick. So, and especially if it's a fun book, I can be done 350 pages in sort of 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. And despite, and people are like, well, how do you remember anything from that? It's just one of those things I learned in graduate school because the reading lists were crippling.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I can remember the first prof when his reading list, and I luckily wasn't the one who asked the question, but I was certainly mindful of it, it was like 1,400 pages of reading. And one of the classmates said, so just how much of this do we do? And he said, oh, no, you do all of it. And that other part, that suggested readings, if you have time, you should probably tackle if you want to be really effective in discussions. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So
I remember, university, there's lots of reading to do. But you were in graduate school, that's even more.
So
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, my daughter can tear through an entire series in like a week. I don't know how she does it, but I'll buy she there's certain series that she likes. I don't know what they're called, but by certain authors. But I'll buy her like 3 books in the series, and she'll the week's done, and she'll be like, "I need the next one pretty soon." I'm like,
oh my goodness.
What are you talking about? I just bought you these.
Yeah.
We could just borrow them from the library.
Yeah.
But she also likes to keep them and then reread them.
Yeah.
But she's a very fast reader. She certainly didn't get that from me because I'm very, very slow at reading.
And she's got a very good sense of humor.
Oh, really?
I went over to Kung's place. A bunch of us had went out, but Mr. Kung invited me over for coffee first, and his daughter was giving it to him. And I was like, it was fascinating to see.
Yeah.
She's
I
very
can't
clever.
imagine that.
She's very clever.
Yeah, that's our relationship. We're always there's always digs at each other just for fun.
That's at my household
no,
too.
it was respectful, but it was fun. But she's no shrinking wallflower, put it that way. She was rose up because the first time she said something, it kind of just was like water off a duck's back. He just sort of let it go, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, I take a lot of abuse at home.
Oh yeah. You and my dad could meet up sometime, bond over that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's fun. Yeah. That's awesome to be talking to you about all of this. Is there anything that you would leave behind in terms of advice for future Delview kids or kids who are graduating next year?
Oh yeah. Okay. I have 2 major ones that I've been thinking about for the past week. So
You've been thinking about this for the past week?
Oh yeah, because you know I go to church, but they have a special event going where the grads are talking about advice and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I've actually been writing about this too. So my first one is there's so many people in my grade that I don't know and I didn't talk to that I wish I had. And it's funny because Macy had given me the same advice as she went through. And she was graduating. She said, there's these different people that I wish I'd met because they look like they have so much fun with what they do. And I wish I'd talked to them about it. And so I had taken that. I was like, oh, okay. I should meet more people in my grade. And I never really, I met a few more people, but I feel like I could have met more. And it's kind of like one of my regrets, I guess, is not talking to more people. So that's one that I would leave behind is definitely go meet your classmates, get to know them on a personal level.
And we're a smaller school too.
Oh yeah.
So you think be easier, but it's
not.
It's funny how you end up meeting people in the first place because usually it's like you're in a classroom working on the same thing, or you're in a club, so you have to kind of interact. Oh, yeah. But just to walk into a room where the person is and just start talking to them, that's a little bit
daunting,
weirder.
Yeah.
People don't always do that, right?
Oh yeah. I actually talked to Alex about this one because I know that Alex really excels in this, but I said, hey man, how do you just like, you walk down the hall and you're waving at like 10 different people at once? Like, you don't got enough hands for this. Yeah. But he just said to me, like, I made it a practice. Every day I would go to school and I'd wave at 3 more people. And so now he's waving at everyone in the hallway, like saying good morning to like 20 different people.
I have seen that.
Yeah,
that's true.
And it's really amazing. Like, that's really cool.
I've seen people walk by him and go, who is that?
Yeah.
He's bound for a job at Caesar's Palace as a greeter.
Oh my goodness. He would take it over, yeah. But
in some ways, it's a bit of a survival skill too. And I can speak about this because it's like, I was an Army brat, so we moved a lot. Like, I got here in grade 10, it was like my 12th school. So I was always the new kid in school. And I learned at an early age. This will be shocking. I can talk. Kung's like, oh my goodness. But I realized early on that it was just easier to be nice to people. And I used to be like, hey, how are you? And people like it's hard to be mean when you don't know someone and they're being nice to you. And it just kind of became a default. And it made getting into, a comfortable area in a school when you're the new kid always easier. So, yeah.
So how do you think you would approach that at Douglas? Because you're obviously going to a school where there's going to be lots of people who are new.
Okay. So I'm glad you asked this because I didn't get to this part yet. But I have this adventure planned for the summer, and I call it the Summer of Adventures. I've labeled it. And I'm making a list of things like a summer bucket list. And I got this from Mr. Yuill's assignment in careers, the bucket list assignment, which I still have. I've saved it.
Well done.
And I've been adding to it too. But for this summer, I want to go out and like push myself to do things that I'm scared to do. Like, I was scared to come here and talk on this podcast because I didn't think I was like a natural like speaker. Like I've kind of like
Kung's a monster. So I think we can all agree on that.
So, but
Said no one.
But like over this year, I've found out that I can do a lot more than I think I can. Like, especially with the trip, I didn't think I could go overseas, and I wasn't scared at all, like any of the time, which is crazy. It's like unusual for me. But anyways, back on track. This summer I'm going to do adventures. I'm going to push myself out of my comfort zone to do things I wouldn't normally do. Like, I don't know. I want to go like LARPing. Like, don't laugh, but I want to go LARPing. It sounds like a lot of fun, and you meet new people, and you just like get in character and have fun. Like, that sounds amazing to me.
So LARPing is when you get into character and dress up.
Yeah.
And what does LARP stand for again?
I don't know.
It's something role play.
Role play, yeah.
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 But like,
and it's not always medieval. It could be different themes, right?
yeah. Like, it could be like, I don't know, like pirate theme, or it could be like
Civil War.
Fantasy, Civil War. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to try that. It sounds like lots of fun. Maybe I'll have to talk about Alex.
Do they have a lot of that here?
They have a lot
I haven't looked into it.
Seattle, but I'm thinking, my thought process is that I know lots of people in BC do really like to LARP.
Uh-huh.
And actually, I was on a camping trip this weekend, and I saw LARPers in the woods up by the Vedder River. So I know a few places to look at least. Like, it's my goal. I'll make it happen this summer.
It stands for live action role playing.
Live
It's a
action
form of role playing
yes.
where participants physically act out their characters in a fictional setting, often with costumes and props. It's a blend of improvisational acting, gaming, and storytelling with elements of cosplay and tabletop role playing.
Yeah.
Does that sound amazing?
And it's like, yeah, there's key aspects. This is pretty
To learn how to make mead.
Takes a lot of skill.
learn how to make mead.
I already know how to do that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Because my dad.
Your dad makes mead?
My dad,
well.
we were at a market one time. We were at this, like, I don't know. We were this, like, Northern European market thing. And he saw this thing that was like, learn how to make mead. And so he bought the supplies and he took it
Of course
back
he
home
did.
and we made mead. And it didn't taste very good. Like, I didn't say it on here. I didn't try it. It's alcoholic. But I might have. And it tasted bad. It was pretty bad. But yeah.
You were in charge of quality control.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. LARPing.
Yeah.
What else are you thinking about?
So I wanna go out. Like, Sarah has given me the opportunity to come to her camp. You know, she works on
Firkham?
Yeah, Firkham. And so I'm going to go up there with her this summer. She's started to organize it, and she says I can work in the garden. And so I'm going to a camp with Sarah. I'm going to stay with people I don't know, who are probably like in their 20s or something.
Yeah.
Work with them.
That's going to be fun.
Hike, have fun.
I mean, she has tons of fun there.
Oh, yeah. She tells me she's going to give me a ghost tour of the camp as well, which is nice.
They have a ghost tour.
She's told me lots of stories about like personal experiences where there's like ghosts up there. So
wow.
like lots of them too. I don't
Lots of ghosts?
She's told me like each building has its own like spirit in it.
Cool.
And some of them are more aggressive than others, which is frightening.
Well, that's something. You could actively seek ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah.
I have a ghost story.
Oh, okay.
One time my family took me to see the Queen Mary. It was on Long Beach in California. And we went there, and that was when the Queen Mary which is a large cruise ship, large old cruise ship. It was it was beside the Spruce Goose, which was also displayed there at that time, which is a giant wooden airplane. And anyways, we got into the Queen Mary. I don't think we even bought tickets at that time because somehow we got in by accidentally through some door because it's also a hotel. And then we ended up in the tour. We're like, wait a sec, where's the payment for this? And we started walking around doing the tour. I was like, oh shoot, we must have gone in the wrong entrance or exit maybe. But we had a camera because our camera broke. We borrowed a camera from my cousin, and we had been on this California trip. We were traveling with them. And then on the Queen Mary tour, we kind of went our own ways, and they let us borrow their camera. And I'd been taking lots of pictures through our trip, and then gone to the Queen Mary, and I don't have a single photo from inside the Queen Mary because the camera just wouldn't work.
Oh.
And I couldn't figure, I'm very technical. So I was looking at this thing.
I would confirm that.
Adjusting it and, all the things to try to get it working. And it never took a single shot inside the Queen Mary. There were cool things to look at in the engine room and the propeller. You could see down to the propeller because they opened up a hole. Never got a single photo from that until we left the Queen Mary. Then the camera started working again. Oh. Which is really weird. And then I remember that trip after we came back, one night, like one day after, we were sitting around in the living room watching TV, and Unsolved Mysteries came on. And Unsolved Mysteries, you know the show?
Oh yeah, my grandma's a fanatic.
Yeah, so it's all about these mysteries, and it could be about the paranormal. And they did an episode on the ghosts of the Queen Mary. I was like, what?
One of them hated photographers. I'm going to hunt this man.
So that's the only, I don't typically believe in this stuff, but that was really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Has anything happened to you?
Oh, well, it kind of like runs in my family.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's on my mom's side. So her...
Like weird stuff happening on your mom's side?
Like weird stuff happening on my... Yeah. So, like, they've been seeing stuff. Mm-hmm. And my mom has this too. Like, it goes back in her line. So, like, I don't know about, like, before they came over to Canada, but, like, after they came over. So, this would be, like...
Where do they come from?
They came from the Ukraine.
Okay.
They escaped, like, Prussia because they were Mennonite. And so, they came over to, first New York, and then they kind of made their way over to Vancouver. But... the point is, my mom's grandma, so my great grandmother, she saw lots of stuff. She was a very paranoid person because obviously she was in a new place, and the Cold War happened too, so she was like, they're gonna take me
high
away.
alert.
Like, she didn't want to get like deported. Like she thought she was gonna get taken away. So she was a very skeptical person, but she saw lots of weird stuff. Like she would look around and like I don't know. My grandma would say like she was very skeptical, and she saw like she had kept an urn. I can't remember what family member, but she had kept an urn of some family member's ashes in her house because she said it brought her comfort to know that they were down there. And my mom had gone over because my grandma brought her over like for babysitting, and my great grandmother would let her play in the basement. And my mom always said like that basement creeped her out because she felt like a presence there, like an unnatural presence. And that was when she found out that there was the urn down there.
Yeah.
And it clicked to her, like, there was someone down here with me. Like, I wasn't alone. She felt it. Well, and also, my grandma keeps lots of pets, and she has lots of stories about, like, her pets coming back and, like, feeling them in the room with her and stuff. I don't know.
Oh, her dead pets.
Her dead pets that had passed away. Like having her arm hang off the bed and then having something furry rub against it and looking down and have nothing there. Like, big dogs, too. Like, you'd know if they were in the room, and then they're not. I think the craziest one, though, was my great-grandmother again. When my mom was going to labor with my brother, she was asleep. And my mom didn't want to tell anyone when she was actually going to labor because, well, she couldn't, but also because people had kept calling. So she told them, I'll just tell you when it's done. And so no one knew when she was going to labor. There's no way my great-grandmother could have known. But she had this dream where her late husband was standing there holding the baby. That was like an exact replica of what my brother looked like when he was born. And he said, Mary, the baby is here. And then she woke up and she called my mom. And my dad answered and he said, yeah, the baby just was delivered like 2 seconds ago.
Oh, wow.
And so that's really crazy. Yeah.
That's weird. Like, we have these, like, I'm always a skeptic, but there are these, I guess you could call them coincidences that happen which actually make you think about, how things happen.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Like, I'm a pretty skeptical person. Nothing like this has happened to me, thank goodness, but it's something to think about, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Care to share any ghost stories, Yuill?
I've got one.
Do you?
Yeah. When I did my research for my master's, when I did my thesis work, there's the downtown, the Beatty Street Armories allowed me to use their research facility. So basically it's the officer's mess with an archive off the side of it, but they allowed me to take stuff out, and they were really generous and let me use a photocopier, which, as a university student, but Kung will remember this, you had to pay for photocopies. It was brutal. And so I was down availing myself to this, and they had said, oh, well, careful of the ghost. And I was like, funny, right? And so I had went downstairs to photocopy, but I had left the lights. I turned the light off when I went downstairs. So all lights in, so it's dark, and it's a big open space. And I had near one of the windows, so I had a bit of natural light coming through. And when I came back upstairs, the staff downstairs, there were only 3 in the building, had went for lunch. So it was me with the building to myself. And I just kind of felt like the hair on the back of my neck stand up. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. And so I had come back in the room, had turned the lights on, and was sitting down and flipping through this. And all of a sudden the lights just went off. And it was like
here in my room every single day.
Yeah, pretty close. Except they didn't have sensors there.
Oh,
no, but yeah, but the lights actually physically turned off, and so I was like, "Oh, that's kind of weird." And so the sergeant who worked in the orderly room, I thought, well, they're probably pranking me because they thought this is pretty funny to tell me about this ghost the other day.
Yeah,
I called out their name, no, and then so I walked over. Light switch was still on, so I turned it off, turned it back on. Went on, so okay. So sat down again, didn't think anything of it. I hear them come in from lunch, so I could just go downstairs and say, oh, it was really weird, like that silly ghost. And I go back upstairs, lights off. And no one else is upstairs. And I was like, huh, and they're like, yeah, there's like weird stuff like that happens occasionally around here. Lights just suddenly get turned off. And like, oh, well, it turns out they've got in their display case a trophy, and it's a cup that inside are the ashes of a member who died in the 1920s. And so he'd come back from the First World War, and he'd spent so much time at the regiment that his wife, when he passed, the wife brought his ashes and said, well, I don't know what to do with them. So he spent more time here than he did at home. So you guys deal with them. And they had had a pretty good fest to commemorate him and decided, we should bury him at sea. And so they took a little rowboat out into English Bay, and they had had lots of merriment, but forgot to dump his ashes. So they brought him back to the mess. And then for years on Remembrance Day, they would drop a shot of Irish whiskey inside his ashes, which now I'm assuming they've all dried up in the lake, but that's a literal story. But that was the kind of, and he was apparently a funny guy and loved a good joke. And that was kind of it. So that was my experience with it. And I, like Kung, I'm a pretty skeptical guy. But that my lower monkey brain was like, yeah, I could probably get behind this, having experienced it now, because that was the only sort of plausible answer.
Yeah. I bet you he was laughing as he turned the lights off.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it was that feeling of like, and where nothing weird had happened, I just all of a sudden just felt this like on a hot summer's day, suddenly like felt super cold and just put like, hair at the back of my neck and no one around me.
Yeah, sometimes you just have a weird feeling and you don't know what that's all about. We can sense something, but we don't know what it is.
Yeah. So.
The unknown. Here's to the unknown.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. Yeah, so looks like you're going to have a great summer. Lots to look forward to in the future. Nailing people for overfishing and stuff like that.
You go, girl.
Yeah. And we're gonna be missing you here for sure.
Yeah.
In many different ways.
I will happily be one of your references.
Okay.
Me too.
I'll keep you guys to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everyone should be fortunate enough to get a letter of reference from me.
I'm sure it's very well written.
I put my heart into them.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Thanks for being here, Addy. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't as scary as you thought it would be.
Oh, no, it was lots of fun. And for my second piece of advice, I'll just say, it's have fun. Yeah.
Excellent.
Not much to it, just have fun. Don't forget to. I mean, I know you got to hit the books, but it's fun to...
But have fun doing it.
Have fun doing it, or find a way to make space for fun. I don't know.
It's possible.
It's
always possible.
My parting words to you are, when you're feeling a little bit of self-doubt, you just remember that I called you Mighty Hebden for the better part of 2 years and meant it every time.
Yeah. By the way, my daughter, just last weekend, we found a Frisbee.
Oh, yeah.
And she can still do the Hebden.
Oh, let's go.
And she can do it way better than I can. The Hebdens invented this move.
No. Mr. Wu.
Mr. Wu invented this move, which you then called the Hebden?
You called it the Hebden.
I called it the Hebden.
Yeah, we started doing it and you named it.
Okay. So the Hebden is a move where you flip the... It's hard to explain without actually doing it, but you flip the Frisbee around and then toss it like this.
It's like you're flicking it with your two main fingers.
Yeah, probably wouldn't work so well in game.
No,
because you would probably drop it.
Maybe like a hat game, somewhere fun.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool move, definitely.
But that will live on as the Hebden. It'll spread. It'll be everywhere. Yeah. Anyways, good having you.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure to have this conversation. Thank you.
It was an absolute joy.
And good luck with everything.
Thanks, Addy.
Thank you.
Okay. Take care.